Okay, I just got this phone set up, and I've been experiencing a lot of really interesting things. Uh, it's amazing how I seem to be in a pretty, seems like rotten place, but at this point, so much good, I believe, can come from my position. For some reason, I have seen so many different points of views already, and I'm really taping this because my son's a little bit upset. I love you, Edinburgh, and you're one of the reasons that I'm just taping the outside of my. This is my sober living house. I got here last week from jail after my wonderful sister and I got in a fight. I guess I was going full blown crazy, but for the things that I've been just experiencing, who wouldn't go full blown crazy? But I copped a couple charges here and there, was in Montgomery County Jail. I'm a little insubordinate, so that obviously didn't work out in my favor. So I am in the process of changing my life because I have gone through a lot of different things, and I, at this point, feel like I'm in a really interesting position. So I just want to share all that with you, and I don't even know why I'm doing a video because you can't see me, but you're just looking at the ground. Anyways, what I thought was pretty neat last night is I saw, and I wish I would have took a video of this, I saw my cat, Cabby, that I haven't seen in years. I've seen her a couple times this winter, one at my parents' house, and then I saw her here. She was a stray cat that came to me when I got in a fight with one of my boyfriends, and I think she came to visit me, the beautiful spirit kitty she is. Reason for, probably just to give me a little bit of hope, and I have tons of hope, but I really, at this point, I'm going to start taping a lot of things because I feel like we can do a lot with humanity and compassion. You'll see that in my my beautiful world, and one of the reasons for that is I've spent a lot of time with artificial intelligence, with like Pandora and YouTube. I've developed themes so I can separate myself from my true authentic self from what I'm viewing in the world. So I've actually, at this point, really been able to pin down some just really important things that I think are coming up in a lot of people's lives, and it makes me really happy to be able to share a viewpoint for you all. I love the earth. I love Mother Nature. I've been able to make it rain. I have had tornadoes touch down when I was in jail. We had a bunch of tornadoes touch down here. For some reason, whatever's going on, I don't want to say it is happening because of me, but I think that I'm somehow connected with enough people that were somehow creating a really interesting reality. So to me, like I'm really doing this for my son because I think he is one of the most special human beings on this planet. I think he has a heart of gold. I spent a lot of time raising him and being aware of his natural suave per se. But he's getting it kind of tough because I think he's going through what I am. And it took me a while to start realizing that I wasn't going crazy. I was just starting to experiencing life in so many different viewpoints that it's absolutely amazing, because at this point I've been able to tell how other people are affecting my reality, my world, And then of course I get to see all the fun copies of my favorite people that I have grown to love. And I've tried my best to watch out over those people, just because, you know, I think that's one thing that this world's missing is there's just, I don't want to say there's a lack of compassion, but, you know, I think compassion on a fundamental level should be looking at someone else as your own self. You know, regardless of race, regardless of how much money you make, regardless of gender. I think equality is key to a better future, and I think that we are in times where we really can make a great impact. Animals are compassionate. You know, you may treat your dog or cat poorly, but Cabby, my alley cat, ran away from me, but she somehow appeared here last night. And when I saw her, I realized that animals are so important to this. I'm at the point where animals seem to like guard me. It's absolutely beautiful. Over the winter, I had bunnies. Just animals will just come out of nowhere, like little picturesque little moments. To me, that's beautiful. But there's a couple things that I'm going to, and I'm just really taping the ground, I'm so sorry, but there's a couple things that I want to talk about right now that I'm going to just really stream videos live of my life, of my family, of myself, what I've learned over the past, I'm 33, my son's 13. I am a big person on numbers, so with what's going on in my life, I find this year to be very, very, it's actually been really interesting because I have learned so much, learned so little, but I think if we work with one another, for each other, we can start to build on one another's strengths and weaknesses, because that's compassion. We'll look at each other as one another as if a child was like me, even, because what I'm starting to notice is there's a lack of compassion, meaning the children that are growing up now, they have a vast ability to, you know, view most anything. And what I'm really starting to get a little, it just worries me, most likely because of my son and my mother, but the artificial intelligence, the AI. Right now, you know, you can get on YouTube, you can get anywhere, and you will be able to stream certain things that's connected to waves, connected to your brain waves. And I've been working with this for so many years that I am pretty positive that what I'm experiencing, other people are, and it will just be a factor that we'll see through time. I'm pretty happy that I've started doing this later than most people have, it seems, just because if I am in an opposite world of what I believe, what I see, for good and bad, but for some reason I'm seeing so many different realities, and I'm, you know, just starting to believe in so many different viewpoints of other people. Well, why is that happening so often? Why did it take me so long I started grasping what was going on, but my thoughts were just too all over the place. And that's very interesting to me, because I've started to realize what, you know, coping skills to help with that, because I think it's really important that we teach one another how to get through life and make planet Earth a better planet, and hopefully leave a future to our children and future generations that we can look at and say, you know, I did something important for not only myself, but each individual, like we were one another. I think it's a beautiful thing. I think if we all take that standpoint, can you like see my eyes? This is weird. Oh, it's just a black screen. I'm like, I'm just going at the ground. Obviously you can tell that this is getting tough for me, just because I'm in a sober living house. Like I said, I have abused or some drugs throughout my life, but I was in a car accident when I was 16, I hit a utility pole going 50 miles an hour and changed my whole life. But the things that I've learned from those events have not only enriched my life, but I believe at this point has actually enriched other people's lives. And the reason for that is, the compassion that I'm talking about, like the feeling of, I always felt this way since I was younger. I was willing to accept people who they are, even if they had bad qualities about them. Like I'm a really big jokester, and the reason that I am like that is because, some things aren't always great in life. We can make good and bad decisions, but they should really impact us, but they should impact us in the same manner. For that reason, I love to joke, because why not make a little fun out of what our world is starting to become? Because at this point, pollution, the earth, a lot of things I'm not very happy with, but to me, if we could be able to take what we've learned here and go to other planets and then work on a multitude of issues that to me could enhance the human race, could enhance AI. Why I'm talking about the artificial intelligence at this point is because I think we're at a very pivotal point where a lot of our data is going to be layered, a lot of our choices are going to be controlled, and if we want to make a difference, we have to start speaking out. We have to start sharing what we've seen that could truly just have an impact. Pretty much having values and morals, even if that's, I hate the world, I love bad things, I like feeling bad, even if you hate shit and you're like a heavy rock and you're like, fuck this shit, I think some attitudes like that, I don't look at them as bad. And I think that's really important for the future, because we have just so many, there's so many negative and positive things happening, but unfortunately a lot of it's mostly negative. You get on the TV, it's just shootings. Oh, someone's in jail, they did this, they did that. I mean, when I was in jail, it was very sad for me to see how people were being treated. And that's why I want to talk about our judicial system, because I think that we are at this point we are in a pivotal place, because our judicial system is really one of the things that sets us out. And that's because, one, you're innocent until proven guilty, but yes means no at this point in life. I've kind of had to live by that motto, because I haven't been trusted at times, or when I had to go to court. My family, I'm a lot different than every single one of them. The reason why is because I seem to be pretty happy, and I seem to take even the bad moments and be able to turn them into a grand, I don't even want to say disillusion, but a grand, I hate to even say scheme, but it's really, here's the point. Artificial intelligence. Right now, the courts are using artificial intelligence. In Wisconsin, they had a case that people stood up against it, because we're using, algorithms at this point to look at, for a judge to click a button and that computer will be able to spit out what they're either pleading to, what the charges that they're in there for court at that moment. They obviously probably have past charges. There could be a multitude of, different statistical. I'm blanking because I almost feel like I started this too late, so I'm probably gonna have to sit down and write a little, write what I'm gonna talk about for each of my little episodes. And one of the reasons, like I said, I'm doing this is because I think my son and I are experiencing a lot of the same things. I've really done pretty well to learn to communicate with people in a manner that is transcending culture right now, as far as the internet, the chat boards. Some of these things started happening, and for some reason I wasn't noticing them. And when I try to, I'll start to explain to you guys, you know, what I've noticed, the biggest differences, and that's really is like the polar opposite of things happening. Meaning, I didn't notice things because I didn't think I needed to, but for some reason, those things came back and impacted my life, my son's life, and how he views the world, how I view the world. And to me, with how unique our situations are, the year, our birthdays, the letter, or the number 3 for the Trinity. You know, I am raising him Catholic, but I, at this point, take a very open approach to religion because I don't want to be held down by any ideals that could really have any negative impact on me. I see good and evil as, I'll explain this to you all later. I'm trying to make this make sense. But anyways, back to the court. For instance, I had 2 charges earlier in my life. I had a public intoxication, or excuse me, underage consumption, and disorderly conduct. I got the first charge dropped to disorderly conduct, even though underage consumption would have looked better on a resume. Oh, she drank young, or oh no, she was disorderly. What was she doing? Like running in the streets, like trying to hurt people, disturbing the peace. No, I literally was drunk at a party and got naive as hell and decided that I could go outside and talk to the police while I was drunk, and didn't answer their questions, tried to give off a fake social security number, pretty much just being 19 and believing that